How's it going, everyone? Indy Sean 45 coming at you. First off, to show my good sportsmanship, to any Stanford Cardinal fan out there who happens to catch this video, congratulations. You guys were the better team tonight. It was a hard-fought game, and you guys earned every bit of that victory, so my hat's off to you. You know, I always try to do the best that I can to show good sportsmanship and win or lose. Sometimes I have let my emotions get the better of me, and it hasn't always appeared as good sportsmanship, but hey, like I said a million times before, I'm a fan on these videos first, and a commentator a commentator sports analyst second. let's be a little correct there. Anyway, moving on to recap Notre Dame's performance in this one. You know, the game's been over for several hours now, and you know, I'm still trying to wrap a lot of that game around my head. I know when the game first got over with, the first thing I wanted to do was get on here and just blast the hell out of Tommy Rees. But after really thinking about it and processing the game as a whole, I can't do that. And some of you are thinking, like, what are you talking about, Sean? Of course you can. He threw the 2 picks at the end. That's true. But when you really look at the whole picture, there is blame to go around this whole team. You know, I'm not taking anything away from Stanford's win, but really, this was a game of blown opportunities on our part. It really was. But I'll tell you one thing before I get too far ahead of myself here. That game tonight definitely was not the kind of game that I expected. If you guys watched my preview for this game, I said that Notre Dame was either going to win close or Stanford was going to win big. Just either one of those two things. That didn't happen. This was a hard-fought game all the way through, and we actually were able to stick around with that high-powered Stanford Cardinal team. And that part, I can't lie, I was pretty impressed on. I mean, we made a game out of it. We were able to play with these guys, and so that part I am proud of the Irish on. I mean, that was a hard-fought game. There's really nothing to complain about in this one. There was no controversy, no screw job by the referees, none of that. It was all, if anything, from our side of things. Not, like I said, not trying to put down the Cardinal, but from the Irish's side of things, it was blown opportunities on our part. Now, I said not too long ago in this video, well, about a minute, there's blame to go around. And yes, Tommy throwing those 2 picks at the end, that was just the icing on the cake. I mean, you know, and I'm not trying to rip Tommy because he only has one more game with us before his Notre Dame career is over, and I really don't want to do that to the kid, but at the same time, you can't help but be a little frustrated because, surprise, surprise, turnover Tommy shows up at just the right time. And 4 years of this, myself personally, I'm tired of it. I don't want to bash the kid because he is a likable person. He really is. It's just some of these decisions that he's been making, you know, when passing the ball. It's like that's one of the key things I said to Victory in my preview was we can't turn the ball over if we expect to win this game. And of course, sure enough, that happened. And here we are sitting with our 4th loss of the season. So it's like, you know, you want the doubters to be wrong. You want the critics and the Notre Dame haters to be wrong about Tommy Rees, and even the Notre Dame fans who criticize him. And unfortunately, that's something that he's done a lot over his career with us is commit turnovers. And you know, in that time, you really would like to think that he would learn from it, but it just has never seemed to happen, and it's cost us big time. So I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything or say I cannot wait till, you know, he's gone, because he's a good kid, and he's had a lot of pressure on him. He's stepped up when called upon. So you gotta give the kid some credit for that. But it's like, enough with the mistakes. When do you learn from them? I guess that's the point that I'm trying to get at is, you know, and his 2 interceptions tonight, that hurt us when we had a chance to tie the game and possibly send it into overtime and possibly win it there. Who knows? But can you say we would win for sure in that situation? Absolutely not. I'm just saying, when you have opportunities handed to, well, not handed to you, but, you know, we get the interception at the end, and, you know, basically 2 chances in the last 6 minutes to tie the game. Come on, you got to take advantage of it, and that just did not happen tonight. So that part falls on Tommy Rees. Now, defensively, okay, giving credit where credit's due. They made some big plays in that fourth quarter. Bennett Jackson had the big interception. They had a couple of nice stops, holding Stanford to field goals instead of giving up the touchdown, which I'll take any day, and making the nice 3 and out and to get our second chance in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes to go. But at the same time, what happened the 3 quarters before that? I mean, I'm giving the defense props for having that gutsy performance in the fourth quarter, but where were they the other 3 quarters of the game? I mean, come on. We got burned for 261 yards on the ground. And a majority of that coming from Gaffney. I mean, he ran all over us. It was ridiculous. So, really, you can't put all the blame on Tommy Rees in this one. Because you gotta give, like I said, there's blame to go around, and there's plenty of blame to put on that defense. So I'll tell you one thing, we definitely missed Lewis Nix tonight, because where Stanford was hitting us was boom, right up the frickin' gut. That's where they killed us, and we could not stop them. We had no answer. So honestly, to being honest here, the fact that this was only a 7-point loss is incredible. Because they, at one point, they were just moving the ball relentlessly on us, and so, that's really all I can say. I mean, this loss sucks. It really does. And I know I probably shouldn't be fretting over it too much, because even had we won this game, we likely were still headed to the same bowl. But still, it's like even though your national championship and your BCS bowl hopes are gone, we've known this for several weeks now, you still want to see your team finish strong and beat top opponents. You know what I mean? And we had a chance to make a real big statement in this game tonight, and we blew it. We blew all the opportunities that we had. I mean, now I can't necessarily say the same thing about the field goals that we got in the first half when we were inside the red zone, because you came out of the drive with points. I mean, that's how you expect to finish every drive. But I guess to some degree, it's like, come on, enough with the field goals. Let's get some touchdowns. So, all in all, it was a team loss. You can't put all of it on Tommy, but he has just as much his own responsibility, because he's had numerous chances to prove all the critics wrong, and sure enough, he proved them right yet again tonight with turnover Tommy showing up at just the right time for Stanford, wrong time for us. So, but other than that, I mean, you got to give credit for them keeping it close like they did and not giving up. So, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't somewhat pissed off about the result, especially when we had all those chances that we did to possibly win the game, or at least extend it into overtime anyway. So, the regular season for Notre Dame has officially come to an end, and we sit with an 8-4 record, which I'm sure a lot of people out there predicted us to have. Maybe some predicted us worse. I don't know. But usually I do have a season-ending recap, but it's really disappointing when you think about it. Just giving you guys a little preview for that. But excuse me, we sit at 8-4, and when you think back to the 4 losses that we had, and what did us in all 4 of those games were turnovers. And it makes you wonder if we don't commit some of those turnovers, what could our record possibly look like? I mean, granted, in the Pittsburgh game, the Panthers had a lot of help with officiating and the bullcrap Stephon Tuitt targeting call and ejection, but that's beside the point. But the fact is, it is what it is. We are 8-4, so now we just gotta wait for bowl selection day and see what bowl game we end up getting. The big rumors I've heard are the Pinstripe Bowl, possibly the Poinsettia Bowl, or whatever it's called. But we'll just have to wait and see, because I have heard a few rumors about maybe an Independence Bowl berth, since the SEC won't be able to fill all their slots. But who knows? We can speculate on that all we want. But the odds-on favorite at this point is the Pinstripe Bowl against possibly Rutgers or Cincinnati. But we'll just have to wait and see. So until bowl selection day and we find out our next opponent and what bowl game we're going to, as always, no win or lose, no matter what, go Irish!